Hello everybody, how you all doing? My name is Rafael and thank you for watching today's video. Today I have another Chameleon build. This time is exactly the way I wanted it because the previous video on my channel is another Chameleon build, but it was in the PTS, so it wasn't as good I actually wanted it. And the only reason that I made that video it was because you actually asked me to do it. So anyways, you have some gameplay in the background at the moment, and I'm gonna explain some things before we get into the actual build. The first thing that you need to understand is that what I wanted to achieve with this build was that I could get high armor, I could get high armor on kill, and at the same time I could get a lot of weapon damage. Now, most people seem to think that the Chameleon is not a good weapon. I totally disagree with them because Chameleon gives you the opportunity to invest in more than just one thing. You can go with a Chameleon and have good enough damage and good enough armor, or you can go with a Chameleon and have good enough weapon damage and good enough skill repairs or skill damage. It's probably the best weapon out there if you want to go with hybrid builds. So let's get into the build. Of course, here is the Chameleon. We don't have anything special, just 30% assault rifle damage, 18% health damage, and 9% critical hit chance. Moving on, we have two system corruption pieces for the 15% armor on kill. Both of these two pieces have a red attribute, as you can see, weapon damage, critical hit damage, and another critical hit damage gear mode over there. The gloves, again, as I told you, a system corruption piece, weapon damage, critical hit chance. Moving on to the chest, we have a Walker Harris piece for the 5% weapon damage. It's not that good of a piece, as you can see here. I could have gotten better rolls, but honestly it's good enough compared to what I have. I wanna improve my chest piece though, and for the talent I decided to go with Unbreakable because in case something goes wrong I don't want to go down, because I don't have a revive hive with me, as you will see later on. My holster is the Fenris AR group. For the 10% assault rifle damage we get weapon damage, critical hit damage, and weapon handling. The reason I went for weapon handling in my holster, and I think in another piece if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and in the chest piece, is because we already have, as you will see, 40% critical hit chance. So at the time that we proc our first we proc the talent on the Chameleon, the 30 headshots, we will get another 20% critical hit chance, so we will reach 60%. So I didn't want to have already a max out critical hit chance on my build because I'm missing out on other attributes that I could use, such as weapon handling. Moving on to the backpack now, we have a Gila Guard piece for the 5% total armor. The reason that I wanted to get an extra like 3 with 4k more armor than I normally do, because if you have seen any other of my videos, I normally get around 800k armor. The reason I wanted to get more than that was because if you have 800k armor and you get like 25% armor on kill, it's not that big of a number, but when you have 1.2 million armor, 25% is actually a big deal, and that's why I decided to invest more on my armor. So we have the Gila Guard for the 5% total armor, core attribute, of course, full armor, critical hit damage, and skill damage. It's not a very good piece, but it got the full the max core armor attribute that I wanted, and it got vigilance as well. So I was like, okay, we will work with that until we find something better. And I have a 30% protection from Elite's gear attribute. Vigilance is very important, so you should like, I think you should go for vigilance. I mean, there are other like options now with Adrenaline Run, with Adrenaline Rush, and Companion, and all those things, but I would suggest you to try it out with vigilance, and if you see that it's not good enough for you, then you can change something else, but definitely give vigilance a shot. And the most important, I think it's actually the most important piece of this build, is the Sawyer's knee pads. We have full armor roll over here, another full explosive resistance roll, and almost a full health roll. But the most important thing about this piece is the talent. Stand your ground, cannot be staggered by explosions. Increases total weapon damage by 3% each second you're not moving. Stacks up to 10 until you start moving. All stacks lost 10 seconds after moving. So with the rework that I got, the last sentence wasn't like a thing, right? The all stacks lost 10 seconds after you're moving. It used to be like as soon as you move, you lose all your stacks. Now, even after you move, you actually have that extra weapon damage, which allows you to adopt a more like aggressive playstyle, so to say, right? What happened? But yeah, it's like one of my favorite exotics. I prefer it over any other exotic, even over the exotic mask, the coyote mask. But yeah, that's it pretty much the build. I have some more gameplay in the background for you at the moment. As you will see in the gameplay in the background, you can deal a lot of damage and you can play solo with this build and do whatever you want pretty easily. I think it's a very fun build to play, and I hope that you liked it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will have some gameplay probably in the background for you at the moment. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more. See you next one. Bye bye.